Fraternal Order of Police national vice president now. You know, it was interesting because you and I have spoken in Focus many times about Alvin Bragg and liberal DAs from LA, San Francisco, New York. Bragg, of course, here in Manhattan, liberal DA, backed by the money of George Soros. And we can go into all of that. But at the heart of it, the cops are feeling it. And that widow let the world know. She put Bragg on notice.
Absolutely, Harris. You know, in 2021, the FBI just released this study that it was the deadliest year for law enforcement for intentional homicides in 20 years. Me and my 800,000 brothers and sisters across this country have attended entirely too many funerals. And there'll be more because that's the nature of what we do. But watching this NYPD funeral is heartbreaking. The devastation of this family, the officers in attendance, and I beg you, if you're watching, don't look away. It's difficult to watch these funerals, but do not look away because that is the very pain that we are feeling right now. It's the very pain that the country's feeling right now. And there's going to be a lot of people after this that say we have thoughts and prayers, and a lot of politicians will come out and say we support law enforcement. But I've had enough of the talk. I want action. We all want action. And it's more than past time. If you're a sitting member of Congress, you need to support and pass the Protect and Serve Act, which will make it a federal crime to assault a police officer. We've had enough of the talk. We want action because we're being murdered in these streets and hunted down.
Joe Gamaldi, we are watching right now, New York City, this is live, as the casket of Tata Jason Rivera now moves to his final resting place. This is funeral day for him, going home. Joe, as always, I am appreciative of you being in Focus, you representing those members of the FOP, the men and women in blue, and bringing us exactly what the messaging is and how you go forth after today. Another funeral next week for Rivera's partner, Wilbert Mora, and we will cover it. All right, Joe, a harrowing new reality. An explosion of attacks on police across America, and 9 police officers shot in major cities in just the past 7 days. 6 of those in the last 48 hours alone, including incidents in St. Louis, Milwaukee, and this scene, unreal, Houston, Texas. That shooter hit 3 Houston cops. The incident resulted in an hours-long standoff with SWAT before the suspect was taken into custody. Houston police identifying the victim as the victims as Gadsden, Hayden, and Alvarez, and confirming all 3 are going to be okay. They are in stable condition, hospitalized right now. Well, that is a blessing. Joe.
You know, Harris, it's even worse than you described. Yes, we've had 9 police officers shot over the last 7 days, but we've already had 25 police officers shot this month, which is a 38% increase from last year, which was a historic year. We had 346 police officers shot. And only by the grace of God were we not attending another 3 funerals of what happened yesterday. But that video was a stark reminder of the heroism that police officers show every single day and the dangers that we face. And, you know, all these keyboard warriors out there that second guess us and always question what officers do, why don't you sign your ass up for an application after seeing that video? Because that's what we're dealing with out on these streets. And thanks to rogue prosecutors and bail reform and the continued demonization of law enforcement, crime is through the roof in our cities. And you know what I want to ask, and what 800,000 police officers in this country want to ask, or you know what every citizen in this country is, where is President Biden? Our cities are war zones. Our country is in turmoil, and police officers are being hunted in the streets. Where are you, Mr. President? You need to give a national address that condemns the violence against law enforcement and talk about the real crime issues in America, because the silence from the White House right now is deafening.
He is supposed to meet with the mayor of the city of New York, but he literally could pop in on just about everywhere. Would have been nice to have him at one of the funerals. Maybe he'll surprise the family of Wilbert Mora and go to that one. But as you said, he's had others to choose from. Unfortunately, we are now above 5 deaths across the country just since the beginning of this year. We're on pace in the wrong direction. Joe Gamaldi, thank you very much for being in Focus.